everyone, we are going to do a little bit of a Schroth flow today. So going through a lot of our basic Schroth positions using minimal equipment and just a little bit faster pace with more emphasis on movement and maintaining your postural corrections as we move, and a little bit less emphasis on some of holding the static positions. So I'm going to start by coming into our semi-hanging position, and I'm going to use the bar here. So you're going to grab the bar that's about forehead height, walk your feet in so they're fairly close to the wall, come down into a hanging position here. You're going to start by lengthening and elongating through your spine. Take a few breaths just for getting that nice global elongation. And then we're going to add some shoulder activation. So inhale, press your head and hips to opposite directions. Exhale and lift. Inhale, lengthen and lower. Exhale, activate your shoulders, lift, draw your head up between your shoulders. Inhale and lower. Exhale and lift. Inhale and lower. Exhale and lift. One more. Inhale and lower. Exhale and lift. We're going to come up into standing. I'm going to stand on the bottom rung of the stall bar here. I'm going to hang on to the same bar. I'm going to take a couple of breaths in standing. Inhale, lengthen, expand, and open through the concavities of your back. As you exhale, come back down into your semi-hanging position. And then extend your legs back. Pull up into standing. Back into semi-hanging. Back into our modified down dog. Back into standing. Back into semi-hanging. And one more time into your modified down dog. Up into standing, back into semi-hanging, and then we're going to come down off the bar and into our prone on knees position. So you're going to start on hands and knees, hands right underneath shoulders, knees right underneath hips here. You're going to turn your palms inwards so your pinkies touch, thumbs touch. Lower down onto your elbows, forehead just hovering right above your hands here, neck stays nice and long. Inhale and lengthen, moving your prominence down towards the ground, concavity up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, pressing your elbows wide, pressing your head and hips in opposite directions. Inhale again, lengthen, expand, and open. And exhale and push, hold it there, don't collapse. Inhale, lengthen, expand, open through the concavities of your back. And exhale and push, elbows wide, head and hips opposite directions. Hold that position. Take a couple of breaths naturally. We're going to come back up into our tabletop position. Hands right underneath shoulders, knees right underneath hips. We're going to go into a plank to down dog sequence here. So you're going to extend one leg straight out behind you, then the other. Hold your plank for a full inhalation and exhalation. Thinking about ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. And then send your hips back for an active rest break. You can go ahead and bend one knee, then the other if you'd like. Just make sure you keep that nice neutral spine. And then back into our plank position. Hold again for a full inhalation and exhalation. Back into the down dog one more time. Long through the back of your neck, head and hips pressing opposite directions. One last time back into the plank. Inhale and lengthen, open through the concavities of your back. Exhale, back to down dog, head and hips pressing opposite directions. Hold that position. back down onto hands and knees. Take a little rest break here. We're gonna sit up on your knees, sitting nice and tall. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over ankles. You're gonna reach your hands out forward. Lean back till you feel a stretch through the front of your thighs here. Maintain that nice line of ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Pull back up. Lean back again, get that little stretch. Pull back up. One more time, leaning back. Pull up. We're going to come into a modified squat here next. Hands right behind your head. Long again through your trunk, open and expanded concavities. When you put your hands in this position, don't let your hands push your head forward. Keep that nice length here. Hinge at your hips, sit back. And then come on back up, squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes. Hinge again at your hips. Sit up nice and tall, squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes. One more, hinge at your hips. Come up nice and tall, squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes. Come back into this position. Take a couple of breaths here. We're gonna come up into standing through a half kneel position, and we're gonna add a knee hover on the way. So this is a little bit of a challenging exercise. You're gonna bring one foot forward, other leg back. Make sure you're still maintaining lots of openness through your concavities, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hip. On the side, that's where you have your leg down. You're gonna tuck your back toe, and you're gonna try to just lift your back knee and lift straight up as much as you can. So go ahead and lift that back knee up, hover, hold that hover for a second, and then lower back down. You're gonna do that one more time. Inhale. On your exhale, lift, hover, hold that knee hover, come and lower back down. The next time, we're gonna come all the way up into standing onto one leg, pulling this other leg towards your chest. So, as you come up into standing, really squeezing your glute on this standing leg, bringing this other leg up only as high as you can while still maintaining this nice neutral spine as best you can. And then bring that foot down, reset, find your best standing position, do your standing corrections. And we're gonna go ahead and come back down into our half kneel with the opposite leg. So go ahead and take a big step backwards, come down onto your knee, adjust if you need to, so that you have good spacing between your feet. And then same thing again, you're gonna tuck that back toe and we're gonna do a couple knee hovers. So you're gonna try to lift your back knee straight up off the ground, hold and hover, and then lower back down. One more time, lift, hold and hover, come back down. This next time up, we're gonna come all the way up into standing, pulling your knee in towards your chest. Really think about firing your glute on your standing leg to help you balance. So you're gonna come all the way up into standing. Try to do it on one leg. Really squeeze that glute on your standing leg. Staying tall, staying wide. You can go ahead and put that foot down. Find your best standing position. And we're gonna come into a wide-legged squat here. So you're gonna have your feet just about hips width apart. You can bring hands onto your hips. Turn your feet maybe 45-degree angles here. So you can have either hands reaching forward if you like, hands on your hips, hands out in front, really wherever you're comfortable. I like hips because it helps me monitor if I'm getting rotation through my pelvis. You're gonna hinge at your hips, squat down, and then come on back up. As you come up into standing, take a breath. Inhale and lengthen, expand and open through the concavities of your back. As you exhale, squat down. Stay looking straight ahead, long through the back of your neck. Nice lengthened spine. Come on back up, reset. Make sure your hips are pointing straight ahead. Concavities are lengthened and open. You're not in your curve pattern. We're gonna do two more. Squat. Come back up into standing. Reset, find that nice standing position. Squat one more time. Come back up into standing, find that nice standing position, staying tall and wide. Now we're just gonna do a little straddle hinge to get a hamstring stretch here, so stay in this position. You're just gonna hinge forward till you feel a stretch to the back of your legs. Come on back up into standing. One more time, hinging forward. Back up into standing. Last one, hinging forward. Getting a little bit of a stretch here, long through the back of your neck. You can even think about pressing your head and hips opposite directions here. Coming back up, find that best standing position again. We are gonna come down onto the ground in supine position. As you lie down, you're always thinking about your positioning and alignment. So thinking about maintaining nose and belly button in an equal, nice lined up position, equal spacing between top of your hips, bottom of your rib cage. I like to give myself a little bit of a bear hug and wiggle back to try to get as stretched out on the mat as possible. We're gonna stay in this position with both knees bent, feet flat on the ground. Take 1 or 2 breaths, thinking about moving your prominence forward and up, concavity out and back. Try to get into your best, most corrected position. And then we're gonna go right into a bridge. Inhale, lengthen and expand. And then exhale, squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes, lift. Stay in this lifted position for a full inhalation and exhalation. And then lower back down. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lengthen, expand, open through the concavities of your back. Exhale, lift, squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes. Neck is long, shoulders down away from your ears, face is relaxed. One more time. This time we're gonna add a little bit of knee extension from the bridge position. Inhale, lengthen, expand and open. Exhale, squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes, lift. Stay in this position and try to extend one leg out straight and then the other. So you really have to get that glute firing on the leg that's down because that is your support. Let's try to extend one leg, then the other, maintaining as much stability as you can here. And then when you're ready, lower down. Take a couple of breaths naturally here. We're gonna come up into sitting. And you might choose to sit cross-legged. You could sit back on your heels. Wherever you can sit comfortably is fine. You just wanna make sure that you can also be into your best sitting correction. Equal weight through your sit bones, sitting nice and tall. Open through the concavities of your back. We're gonna take just a few breaths here. Inhaling and lengthening. Exhaling, pressing your head and hips opposite directions. Inhale and lengthen, expand and open. And then exhale and push. Keep that pressure and tension. Hold it right there. Inhale, lengthen, expand and open even more. Exhale, hold it there, don't collapse. Keep pressure and tension. One more breath. Inhale, growing tall and wide. Exhale, don't collapse. Keep pressure and tension. Keep that nice correction. As you bring your hands down to your sides, try not to change anything in your trunk. And take just a couple of breaths here to let that work that you just did sink in. Hopefully you're finding yourself in a nice aligned position. Nose over belly button, equal spacing through your sides, lots and lots of length and openness through the concavities of your back. And nice job.